Hello, everyone, and welcome to 30 Minutes to Warrior 3, also known as Virabhadrasana. And Warrior 3 is a fun, intermediate level pose that is an awesome pose to integrate into a vinyasa flow. Once you get Warrior 3, you can transition to a lot of different other poses in your yoga sequence. So it's a really awesome pose to learn and to master right now. Now, in order to get to Warrior 3, we do need some flexible hamstrings. We also need some flexibility on the outer or lateral side of our thigh and our glutes in order to get in the position. We also need balance because eventually it becomes a balanced pose on one leg. And we also need a lot of back strength and shoulder strength if we're going to take our arms above our head. So we'll explore all of these elements today. And let's first find a lot of the alignment in a tabletop position. So find yourself on all fours with your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And from here, all I want you to do is extend your right leg out behind you and flex your toes like you want your toes to touch your shin, and then really press your heel back. Like there's a wall behind you and you want to press into the wall. Now, another cue you often hear yoga teachers is like if you put a teacup with tea on the low back where the sacrum is, you don't want to spill the teacup, so you don't want your right hip to be high or low. You want to be in line with your left hip. And just feel into this pose for a few breaths. And let's try the other side. So let your right knee find the mat. And extend the left leg out behind you, continuing to look down. Again, really engage and press out the left heel. And then again, left hip not too high, not too low, right in the middle. So the back stays nice and flat, hips square to your mat. So this is the basic position we're looking for in Warrior 3, and as we get more experience in Warrior 3, we end up with the arms overhead. Right now we can't lift our hands up, but we can do one hand at a time. So let your left knee find the mat, and extend the right leg out behind you. And then notice what changes in the pose as you take your left arm out in front. You need a little bit more core stability, a little bit more back stability, and notice just to reach that left arm forward, how your left shoulder, or your left deltoid in particular, is working to keep you in the pose. And then switch. Right knee finds the mat, left hand finds the mat. Let's do the other side. Left leg extends behind. And then notice what changes in your body as we extend the right arm out in front of us. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale back to our tabletop. All right. So let's come onto our backs now and explore some of our hamstring and abductor flexibility. So cross your ankles and come onto your back. And from here, hug your right knee into your chest. And then let's interlace our fingers behind our knee and start to extend the right leg. And this is what's known as active flexibility here. So the more we engage our quadricep, the more the hamstring will stretch. And then you might keep your hands at your thigh. Maybe you'll walk your hands to the calf. Maybe you can walk your hands all the way to your foot. But just use this pose now as kind of an appraisal of where your hamstring flexibility is at. And then we'll see what we can deepen with some stretches later on in our class today. Now the next challenge is to stretch the outside of the thigh by bringing the leg a little bit in. So if you can grab the outer edge of your right foot with your left hand, do so. Otherwise, you can use a strap. If you don't have a strap, a belt or a scarf works just as well. And then draw the right foot a little bit to the center. Notice I'm not going all the way to the left, just more to my midline. And then when I draw the foot further up, you should feel a stretch somewhere on the outside of your thigh, maybe around the glute area, maybe where your tensor fasciae lata meets the IT band. It gets pretty intense pretty quickly, so it shouldn't be too hard to discover this stretch. It's really easy to stretch the inside of the thighs. It's a lot harder to stretch the outside of the thighs. So a lot of folks, the inside or adductors are nice and flexible, but the abductors are not. So this is such an important stretch, particularly if it's not one you do very often. And then bend the right knee, and we'll do the other side. Hug the left knee into your chest. And then extend the left leg. Interlace fingers around the knee or the calf or the foot. And really engage the left quadricep to straighten the left leg as much as you can. So bring some active flexibility into this pose. And take a few deep breaths. And then right hand grabs outer edge of your left foot, or perhaps using a strap with both ends of the strap in your right hand. Just draw the left foot to your midline and bring it a little bit further up until you feel that nice stretch on the outside of your left leg. So when we do engage a muscle, it contracts and shortens a little bit. So a lot of poses, once we turn them into balance poses, it becomes a little bit more challenging. We need a little bit more flexibility. So this really happens in our Warrior 3 pose. When we're on that standing leg, all those stabilizing muscles start to contract and it deepens the stretch. So we really have to make sure we almost have a deeper layer of flexibility for when the muscles are engaged. And from here, hug your left knee into your chest and hug both knees into your chest. Let's combine those elements we just explored in our downward facing dog. So grab behind your knees, rock forward and back. Once you come up to sitting, cross your ankles and come forward to downward facing dog. So let's explore those elements here. From this downward dog, take your right leg high to the sky. And like we just did in our tabletop position, flex the right toes and press the heel into the wall behind you. See if you could lower the right hip, but keep the leg high. So hopefully you kind of feel that same stretch we just explored on our back the more we lower the right hip. If it's pretty intense, that's pretty good. Breathe into the discomfort. Any pain, however, you want it to come out of it, ease the pose. Make the pose a little bit easier for you. And let's explore the other side. So right foot finds the mat and the left leg comes up into the sky. See if you can straighten the left leg, engage the left quadricep to really straighten or extend the knee. And then lower the left hip a little bit as the right heel reaches down to the mat and as you continue to reach the arms up overhead. And from here, left toes find the mat and let your knees find the mat. And then just come back to your spine and your center by warming up the body with a few cat-cows. So nice job so far. So our next task will be to strengthen some of our back muscles. So from this tabletop, step your feet out behind you and lower yourself all the way down to your belly. I'll set my blocks off to the side. We'll need our blocks today. But from your belly, extend your arms out in front of you. So let's first begin to strengthen our upper body with 10 lifts, just the upper body. So take your pinkies to the ground and point your thumbs up at the ceiling. And with each inhale, I want you to try your absolute best to touch the ceiling with your thumbs. So on your inhale, lift the heart, lift the head, and lift the thumbs up towards the sky. And then exhale, lower down. All right, 10 of those. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Number 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. And on your 10th one, release your hands to your sides. Take one cheek to the mat. Bend your knees, and then just windshield wiper your legs to the left and to the right to release the low back. So if you've never done that exercise before, your low back might be feeling kind of tired. It's perfectly normal. But it's really important to cultivate that back strength in your practice and in your life, as those back muscles are really essential for our posture. So if it did feel a little weak today, just do that exercise 3 times a day or 3 times a practice, and then your back will be stronger in no time. So that's the top half of the body. Let's do the bottom half. So extend your arms out in front of you again. This time you can keep your chin or your forehead on the ground, and we'll inhale, just lift the legs off the ground. And then exhale, lower. And we'll do 10 of those. So inhale, legs come up. Exhale, legs lower. Number 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. And take the hands under the shoulders. Press back, child's pose. Releasing the legs and the back. And take a few deep breaths in your child's pose. Check in with yourself. How's your body? How's your breath? How's your mind? How's your heart? All right, moving on to our next flow here. Come forward to your tabletop, tuck your toes, and take your hips high to the sky. Downward facing dog. Walk your downward dog forward, coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Once you're there, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, and roll up 1 vertebra at a time. And finish standing, hands to heart. All right, so next I'd like to do a few more back exercises as well as get into the hamstrings. So to help to warm up the body by doing one sun sal with a little back exercise in it, so let's do that. On your inhale, bend the knees, take the arms up to chair pose. On your exhale, release into your forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, step or jump back to plank pose. Lower down, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale up, either upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, inhale the right leg high to the sky. And exhale, swing the right foot forward, plant between your hands. Let your left heel spiral down 45 degrees. And inhale, arms up, warrior 1. But this time I want you to fold forward halfway into kind of what I call like a power warrior. And your hands will be at your sides, thumbs facing out, palms facing down. And really start to feel those same back muscles working in order to keep you in this pose. And on your inhale, take the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Other side, inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, swing the left foot forward, plant it between your hands, right heel comes down. Inhale, warrior one. And on your exhale, fold forward halfway into our power warrior. Again, fingers spread wide, thumbs facing out to the side, palms facing down. And you're looking for that long flat line from the back heel to the shoulder. Next, take the inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, plank pose, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. From here, inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees, looking forward. Step, jump, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And on your next inhale, reach the arms forward and up, high to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart. Nice job. So we'll do a very similar flow, combining many of the elements we've already been exploring, and we'll throw some hamstring stretches in there as well. So, from here, bend the knees, inhale, arms up to chair pose. But stay in chair pose, and what we're going to do is fold forward halfway, kind of like we did in our warrior one, but our goal is to get our body parallel to the ground. So fold forward halfway, and hands again will be at the sides, and thumbs will be facing out, fingers will spread wide. And then see if you can get from the tailbone to the top of the head, perfectly parallel to the ground. Nice job. On your exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward. Moving through our flow, inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank pose, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, swing the right foot forward, plant it between the hands, left heel comes down. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. And we'll fold forward halfway again. We'll give you the option to keep your arms overhead. So option one, fold forward halfway with your arms at your sides, or option two, arms overhead. So we either want from the back heel to the shoulders to be in one line, or from the back heel all the way out to the fingertips. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Now this time, step in halfway here. So bring your left foot forward halfway in. And let's stretch in this pyramid pose. So if you need a couple blocks, feel free to take them underneath your hands. And I always point out your blocks are tri-functional. So there's a high height, a medium height, and a low height. Or maybe you don't need your blocks and your fingertips are on the ground. Either way, feel into that hamstring stretch and deepen it by squaring your hips, drawing the right hip back, and bringing the left hip forward. All right, and we're going to keep stretching the hamstring this entire time on our way to half split. So let your left heel come up and then float or drag your left toes back and drop the left knee and drop the hips back, floating over your front leg one more time. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And coming forward, plant your front foot, tuck your back toes, step back to a plank pose, lower halfway down. Inhale up, exhale, downward dog. Same thing, other side. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, swing the left foot forward, plant it between your hands, let your right heel spiral down, 45, and inhale, arms up, warrior one. And once again, power warrior, either hands at your sides, level 1, or arms overhead, Level 2. Deepening the breath, staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Pyramid pose. Step your back foot in halfway and fold over your front leg. If you used blocks on the other side, use blocks on this side. All right, fingertips to the mat or your blocks. Right heel comes up, slide or float your right toes to the back of the mat. Drop the right knee and drop your hips back, floating over your hamstring once again. Hopefully, with the body a little bit more warm than it was when we were on our back, you can come into a deeper hamstring stretch here. And finding our vinyasa, plant the left foot, plant the hand, step back to plank pose, lower halfway down, inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. From here, inhale, tippy toes, exhale, bend knees, looking forward, step or jump or float to the top of your mat, inhale, half lift, exhale, fold, and inhale, arms forward and up. And exhale, hands to heart. All right, so let's explore some different components of our Warrior 3. First thing I want you to explore is what it looks like to fold forward halfway. So with your feet hips width distance, outer edges of the feet parallel, take your hands to your hips and fold forward just halfway until your torso is parallel to the ground. We don't want to fold forward any more than that. Notice how your back muscles are working. So feel free to stay here with your hands on your hips, or you might take your hands at your sides, thumb facing out, and lift the heart up to make sure you're not lowering down to the ground. You might stay there, or arms overhead for the final expression of this pose, with the goal here, our intention here, of having tailbone to the fingertips be parallel to the ground. And then wherever you are on your inhale, come all the way back up to standing. And exhale, hands to the heart. All right, now is our time to get our blocks. So take both of your blocks, put them on the highest setting, and take them torso's length in front of your feet. And from here, once again, hands to the hips and fold forward halfway. But this time, take your hands to your blocks. Focus on flattening the back by dropping the belly, lifting the heart. And then shift your way over into your left foot and let your right leg lift up towards the sky. And focus on all those alignment cues we've been exploring. Right hip is lowering to square. Right quadricep is engaging to straighten the leg. And the right toes are flexing in towards our shin. So this is our Warrior 3 right here. And we'll explore some deeper variations very soon. But for now, focus on the alignment without having to worry so much about the balance or the back strength. And other side, right foot finds the mat, shift the weight to the right foot, left leg comes off the ground. Left hip lowers, left leg rises. All right, from here, left toes find the mat. Take your hands to your hips and inhale all the way back up to standing. Take your hands to your heart. All right, so let's explore some deeper variations. Maybe that's where your body is at today. Maybe you notice the hamstring flexibility even prevents you from reaching your blocks, so you might need to take the blocks even higher, blocks on blocks, or even taking a chair out in front of you is a wonderful way to start. So next we'll try lifting one hand or potentially both hands. Just like we started, hands to hips, fold forward halfway, hands to your blocks, shift your weight to your right foot, take your left foot out behind you, and then take your right thumb to your sternum, see if that feels okay. Switch, left hand to your sternum, see if that feels okay. And if both of those felt okay, then you can take both hands to your heart. All right, now we have to worry about our balance. So keep your gaze focused on a single point below you, which will really help. All right, let's transition to the other side without break. So hands to the blocks, left foot finds the mat, right foot floats off of the ground. Once again, shift the weight to the right hand, left hand to heart. If that feels okay, right hand to the heart. If that feels okay, both hands to the heart. And from here, both hands to your blocks, 2 feet find the mat, and inhale all the way back up. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right, so maybe that's where your body is at today, and you want to continue working on those variations. Our final challenge is to take the arms up over the head. So, hands to your hips, fold forward halfway, hands to your blocks, shift the weight to your right foot, let the left heel come out. From here, take your right arm above your head, see if that feels okay. Take your left arm above the head, see if that feels okay. And if they do, take both arms overhead, energizing all the way out from the back heel to the fingertips. Other side, no break. Hand to the ground, left foot finds the mat. Right heel reaches back. Does left arm forward feel good? Does right arm forward feel good? If so, both arms forward. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 2 hands to your blocks, 2 feet to the mat. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nice job. So let's explore Warrior 3 one more time and use it as a way to transition from some different poses. Because as I mentioned at the beginning, once you get Warrior 3, it can unlock a lot of fun transitions. And we're going to go and step back to kind of a high lunge variation. So from here, take your hands to your heart and take your right knee up. And then try to fold forward all the way to your Warrior 3. So as you do, the right leg comes out behind you. And then take the right toes to the back of your mat. Nice. And we'll just stay folded forward halfway like this. And with this, you can have your hands on your blocks. You can have your hands at your sides. For now, I'm going to keep my hands to the heart. And let's try to reverse that transition. So shift forward, Warrior 3. And then can you come up to standing all the way up? Right knee comes up. And 2 feet to the mat. All right, let's try the other side. Shift the weight to the right foot. Left knee comes up. Tipping forward, Warrior 3. Once you're parallel to the ground, left toes float to the back of your mat. Come into this high lunge variation. And then smooth with control, reverse what we just did. Shift forward, Warrior 3. And then come all the way up to standing. Left knee comes up. And 2 feet to the mat. Find your breath. Find solid ground with 2 feet on the ground. Okay, thank you so much for joining me in this week's practice. I hope by exploring different components of the pose, you understand what you need in your body in order to achieve a full Warrior 3. And don't get hung up on having to go to the deepest, most challenging variation. Wherever you are is exactly where you are supposed to be. They're all Warrior 3 poses, the harder ones and the easier ones as well. Respect the practice, respect your body, and love your body throughout its transformation in yoga. Thank you so much for watching. If there's other poses you'd like to see in this 30-minute series, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me. My name is Zach Beach. You can learn more about me at zachbeach.com. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being you. Namaste. Bye.